Hello everyone. Gratitude to my parents, gurus, well-wishers, clients, friends and family. Proud to launch Nishta, an initiative to demystifying leadership. I'm Subha Lakshmi Narasimhan, a keen observer of lives around. As the founder of SLN Brand Studio LLP, I support leadership growth through career coaching and personal branding. The definition of leadership, like success, scaling up, and growth, it's completely individualized. Each one of us brings different flavors, shapes, sizes, and shades of leadership traits through our actions and aspirations. Leadership. This positive sounding, the energy boosting word brings in a lot of great thoughts and deeper learning. I get curious whenever I see leadership in any form or shape, right from the playgrounds where children play, roadside vendors negotiating and managing various clientele, while interviewing professionals, managers, executives, and CXOs. There is no end to learning when we keenly observe different styles, varied expectation as the world changes every minute. Along with technological advancement, a disruption. Nishta is an initiative to share the leadership stories of industry stalwarts and young leaders, designed to capture the essence from different walks of life, ensuring core key takeaways for my audience. The intention is to bring in new perspectives and fresher learning. This week, I'll be talking to a charming young leader, my best friend Kritika. Kritika is a brand storyteller and a community enabler who has an intriguing career journey. Our guest today, Kritika, started her career as an engineer and then transformed to a journalist, now a leader in brand story and communications arena, handling internal and external communication for the firm that she is working across 25 countries. Yes, a global trotter. She has lived, studied, and worked in 3 different countries, traveled almost 22 countries across the globe, worked with Cornell University, Deloitte Consulting, Austin Business Journal, Zirka Digital Solutions, First Post, Duff and Phelps, Two Market Media, Pixie Dust Writing Studio, Youth Ki Awaaz. Kritika, I sound like Shankar Mahadevan in his Deathless album, seriously. And Kritika has been a guest speaker on numerous platforms and podcasts talking about career transition, emotional management, and growth. She has hosted 30 plus communication skill training, moderated 10 plus webinars, been a guest speaker on 2 different podcasts, and a couple of YouTube career series as well. Written and edited more than 10,000 articles across business, technology, and different domains. Active in different communities and networks, including being a VP at the Cornell Club of Mumbai. Kritika has master's degree in journalism from UT Austin and undergrad in computer science from India. If one way to put art and science together, that is her background. This is not enough. Recently, Kritika has won an award for driving business results as a part of IFS India recognition program. She has also been the finalist in the Luminary WICA for growth category at the 2020 Women in Corporate Allies Conference. Today, Kritika, we are going to focus on leadership. Warm welcome once again. A pleasure to have you here on Nishta. First episode of first season, Kritika.
Thank you so much, Subha, for inaugurating this initiative with a conversation with me. I'm overwhelmed just listening to my introduction, but it's truly a privilege to know you and support you on these initiatives that you're doing. So I'm really looking forward to our interaction today.
Thank you so much. Kritika, I'm just going to directly delve into our core. Yeah. So Nishta is an initiative to demystify leadership, right? I would like to know your views on leadership. When exactly you recognized yourself as a leader?
Thank you, Subha. It's a great question. So when I was younger, I always thought leadership was about fancy titles and degrees. But, after traveling the world, studying journalism, building communities, and, working abroad, I realized that anyone can be a leader right here, right now. Anyone can rise to the challenges of being a leader in an organization, regardless of how junior you are. One of the most life-changing moments for me as a reporter and as a leader was when I was doing research for my master's thesis in the US. I took on a very difficult topic at that time. It was about female military veterans who were returning from Iraq and Afghanistan, and how they were finding it so challenging to integrate back into civilian society. So this was a very difficult topic because a lot of these women had dealt with a lot of trauma. Some of them were dealing with depression, with PTSD. Many of them had been sexually harassed or even discriminated against while they were serving. So I here was this young journalist, young reporter trying to finish her research. And so I had to adopt a couple of, you can call them strategies, but I had to approach every conversation with a lot of empathy and active listening and quiet leadership. Now, what is quiet leadership, you may ask? Now, quiet leadership is something where you as a leader, you don't put yourself in the spotlight. You set out with building trust first in the conversation and be an active listener. So I had to approach every conversation with that level of empathy. I had to treat every woman as a unique person. So even though they were all women, they're all served in the military, still they had unique stories to tell. So I couldn't approach them as this one group. So that's where I learned all these different skills. Unfortunately, I was able to interview over 30 plus women, and I think that was one of those life-changing moments I had as a young leader. So I can summarize, how I see leadership. One thing is that you have to begin every conversation with a lot of empathy. The second thing is trust. I think one of the biggest failures of leadership is when people don't trust you or your vision. The next thing I would like to say is failing fast, learning fast. So I think I have been applying design thinking principles in my career from as long as I can remember, but I never put a label on it. But as a leader, you should be willing to fail and embrace failure. And finally, I would say being fearless with experimentation, right? Doing new things and failing at them. You will never be truly fearless. You will always have a little level of fear. You will be a bundle of nerves, but you still go out there and you do things. That's what a leader does.
Fantastic. In fact, when you were mentioning empathy, I was about to ask. Okay, so you're bringing in design thinking, right? See, design thinking is something that we all have been hearing about. We are all doing some research on that. In fact, I've been working on using design thinking in career development, right? So that is something that I'm on right now. I'll be having one podcast I'll also released very soon. When it comes to design thinking, the process starts with empathy, right? So if we can bring in here, in our even day-to-day life, whatever be our vision, and as you mentioned rightly, this will definitely take us to the right path. And then you beautifully bring in trust. In fact, yesterday I was a part of this, Let's TED Circle, right? Where we were talking about intergenerational learning, right? So where we spoke about a couple of things that you mentioned as well. So building trust between two people or within the group, as a leader, it's your core responsibility to build that trust, right? Especially your journey is so beautiful, Kritika. Especially this veteran story, right? Whenever I get to listen, I seriously, I have goosebumps. You were so young at that point of time, and handling grievance, it's definitely not an easy task, but you handled it very well, because you have to press your emotions down. You have to play the role of a journalist and then move ahead and then ask them questions, right? You have to listen to those stories keeping your emotions down. It would have been a tough journey for you at that time, right? So that's where you had knowingly or unknowingly you had that empathy and then the trust. You were focusing on building the trust, which is a core leadership skill that we all have been discussing nowadays, right? So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, and then from your response, previous response, right? I would like to bring in one more element here, with the leadership. See, you were like a young, girl, between that girl to woman sort of
Mhm.
age group, and you were interviewing all these women, right? So I would like to understand, being a woman, has it been an advantage or a disadvantage, or it has, see, we all have been talking about stereotypes, bias against, gender bias and all other stuff, right? So what is your take on that? Has it ever been an hindrance for you to grow?
Right. Another great question, Subha. So, growing up, I've always been inspired by so many female leaders. I could use the most famous names: Mother Teresa, Indira Nooyi, Sheryl Sandberg, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, and the list goes on. I can keep counting the number of female leaders that I've looked up to. But somehow I never looked at myself as a woman leader. I just saw myself as a leader. Because
Fantastic.
what is leadership? Someone who is resilient, someone who can embrace failure, someone who is willing to take responsibility for the failures, but also take responsibility for the successes, right? So if you think about it, without those titles, leadership is serious work. And, not many people are comfortable with that idea. They like the titles and the degrees.
Very true.
As far as being discriminated against, I luckily haven't been, I haven't faced that in my career too much. Yes, maybe there were one or two instances where I faced a little bit of gender discrimination, where I felt that I was not part of the boys' club. But apart from that, I think I always saw myself as a leader, and whatever I wanted to do, whether it was engineering or journalism, getting into corporate communication, telling stories, traveling the world. I think I have gotten to do all of that, even though I'm a woman. So I think at the end of the day, it's about, I know there are, women who face that, but it's also about training your own brain, your own mind to think different, to think big. Don't
Right.
think of yourself as a woman leader. There are so many things that you can do. So why think obstacles? Think
Right.
possibilities, think opportunities, and once you start doing that, then nothing can stop you from being as a leader.
Very right, very right. In fact, thank you so much for that. So, if I look at the way you were answering, it's all in our mind, right? I also recall Ms. Debjali Ghosh. Yeah, I met her when I received my Digital Women Award last year from SheThePeople.tv in Delhi. While somebody questioned her, she was one of the chief guests, keynote speaker at that point of time. Somebody asked her, okay, say, as a woman, how do you see yourself? Especially when you are a part of a board, right? Similar response she in fact gave, and which is like, she never felt that woman, male, female sort of a thing. She said, so what, I have studied really well, I have grown up really well, so I didn't feel like being a lady is going to make any difference. She said that, no, I used to just knock the door, go and sit, and then contribute what I needed to do as a part of that role, right? Only the role and responsibilities were there in her mind. So something that I recalled, that's a beautiful answer from you also. So everything is in our mind, right? And if we keep that woman thingy aside, right, even men, they undergo a lot of issues when it comes to the leadership area, especially the
Right.
young and budding leaders. I would say somebody who has been an independent individual contributor for a long time. When they are given an assignment to take care of a team, whether it building a team or manage a team, then they struggle a lot, because most of them, what I have seen in my consulting sessions and all, it's completely the mindset, right? They just have to think that they are the leaders. The minute they believe in that, everything changes. The landscape changes into a beautiful, beautiful garden, right? So it's a beautiful thing that you shared.
And it's a work in progress, Subha.
Yes.
Like every day you're learning. I think 10 years ago, I would have also said, oh, look at this woman leader, or, why wouldn't we have more female leaders in power? But then slowly I started refining my own definition of what leadership was. So I
Right.
think we're all guilty of that at some point, but then we're human, and, you learn as you grow in your career.
Very true, very true. Superbly put, Kritika. Okay, so now we both belong to one common functionality, right? So I should not move away from asking you this question: branding. See, you are a brand storyteller. You have been handling internal as well external communication for your organization, that too across 25 countries. So from the personal branding background, I know that there is a cultural perspective, right? When it comes to communication. So in fact, in my personal branding sessions, I include cultural intelligence also as a part. That is there as one of the modules. So how do you see personal branding, Kritika? I mean, is it really important? Is it just a buzzword that I'm trying to sell here?
So yeah, I think up until 2020 I did not see the value in personal branding, because if you're not running your business, why do you have to brand yourself? Like I was working in a company, so I didn't see the importance of building my own personal brand. But thanks to you and your coaching and your personal branding program, I realized that it's important today in this VUCA world. At the end of the day, it's still a choice. You have to still love what you're doing, because if you see it as a burden, if you see it as just another thing to be done, you will not sustain, and you will not succeed at it. So you do have to enjoy what you're doing. And, because I started working with you, I started interacting with so many other women also who saw it as important. I realized that you have to go out there and talk about your work without coming across as a snob, but yes, building a brand takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of commitment and a whole lot of passion. But it helps you grow as a leader in your space. And once you build your personal brand, now even through that process of building your personal brand, you have to lift other people around you. So like I think as an engineer, as a professional at Deloitte, early in my career, it was all about competing. And still at some levels, yes, we do tend to compete with each other. But I think now, I've realized that community is better. When you have other people with you, supporting you on your journey, and you can support them, I think then you win together. So, so personal branding is also about that. Can you help the people around you to be better, to be better versions of themselves? So yeah, so I'm also still learning as a young leader, but I think I just enjoy community far more now.
Fantastic. Because see, that's another beautiful definition you gave for personal branding. Yeah, it's not only about the external appearance or what sort of noise that you are making on LinkedIn or any other social media portal. Right? It's beyond that. As you beautifully mentioned, it's the reinvention process. Right? As a part of while building a strategy for building our personal brand, you re-identify yourself. You re-identify your core strengths, the areas that you may have to improve, right, to become a leader that you want to create. Yeah, you want to build for yourself, and then the perception changes, right? And that is one. And then another perspective that you brought out. Again, in my sessions, I talk about internal stakeholder and external stakeholder, right? You brought about that community building as a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens here? We are creating a beautiful ecosystem around us. Whenever we are knocked down, we have some space to quickly, get up and then move, knock the other door, right? I know that I'm part of your Lean In Marketing and Communication group. You have been leading that group so gracefully. Yeah, triggering our thought process through your questions. I see that you are, putting in a lot of effort, right? Even I know the pain of running a community. I know that it's not easy to keep people engaged in the right way, because you have a vision set, and then the communication should revolve around that vision, right? That is something that you are doing so gracefully and beautifully, Kritika. Can you please share your secrets so that I as well along everybody in my network, they can learn as well?
No real secrets. I go back to the same thing of experimentation, and design thinking. Because, early on when I started the circle, yes, there were certain ideas that worked, certain ideas didn't work, but then how do you pivot quickly? How do you find a new way of doing things, So I think we're all learning. I'm still learning. In fact, community building also, I'm learning from a lot of other people around me, you, Neha, and so many other people. So I think it's just a work in progress. I'm just trying out new ideas, seeing what works. Sometimes you ask the members what they want, and sometimes you kind of give them those little nudges so that they can come out with their ideas and thoughts. So yeah, it's just a learning process, and yeah, I'm looking forward to what we can achieve together this year.
Definitely. And okay, so as a community builder or an enabler, a leader, right? While building communities, can you just mention 2 or 3 core leadership traits that you are, also acquiring, which is going to help you survive and succeed in this VUCA scenario?
Right. So I think one of the things that happens to most leaders is self-doubt, and it happens to all of us, even if you're
Yes,
not a leader.
very true.
But don't let self-doubt come in the way of your progress or, the actions that you need to take. Because like I said earlier also, 99% of the obstacles are in your mind.
Very
So
true.
and they will still be there, but you have to go ahead despite that. So I always say try new things. Don't stop yourself from experimenting, because you never know what you might end up liking. Like I did engineering. I realized early on, thankfully after 4 years, that I didn't like doing it and I didn't want to pursue it. So I didn't pursue a career in that. I moved into writing. And then even within writing, I experimented. I tried out different things.
Right.
Then it was journalism, corporate communications, then it was community building. Then I realized, oh, this is a nice space. Let me improve my skills here. So even as a leader, you are testing out ideas, you are growing in these different spaces. And the more things that you can try, the faster you will find the thing that you love. So this was something I mentioned in one of my other interviews as well, that don't sit on the couch waiting for magic to happen or for passion to show up.
Right.
Get out there, make those mistakes, try new things.
Fantastic. Don't, self-doubt. Right from freshers till CXOs. I say, there are CXOs who take consulting sessions with me to build their personal brand and all. I see that, even for writing something in LinkedIn, right? So there is a self-doubt. Okay, see what exactly people are going to think about me, right? It's not about the language or the grammar issues or anything else. It's about sharing your knowledge, right? Sharing your experience. So the self-doubt is something that which has been a spoiler for many to grow. So we have to definitely come out of that. And then another skill, Kritika, I have been observing, right? That persuasion.
Yeah.
You are way too good at that, because there is a thin line, right? You can go overboard. So how do you balance that?
I'm still learning that. In some aspects, I feel persuasion has worked where, people have come out of their shell because of that, whether it was telling stories as a journalist or whether it's running communities. That persuasion has worked in certain areas. In certain areas, it hasn't. And then I quickly realized, okay, I might have to adopt a different strategy for this set of people. So it just comes by doing. Like I said, there's no one formula to this. But you have to keep doing it, keep throwing things at different things and see and hope that something sticks, something will work. And then once something works, that, okay, this is a good model to adopt, and then you just keep doing it. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So if I can summarize like what we had discussed so far, it's everything starts with empathy, right? Leadership, it starts with empathy and then building trust among teams. And for as an individual, as a leader, right? Self-doubt, that is something that we should take it off. To take it off, for me personally, self-love and gratitude. These 2 traits have helped me a lot whenever I get into that self-doubt mode. Whenever I bring in new initiative, right? So there will be a doubt. Okay, am I really doing right? So walk the talk is something that I diligently follow. So I don't want to make any mistakes. But that is something that I realized. Okay, you should allow yourself to make mistakes, but never repeat.
Correct.
So the minute we start allowing ourselves to make mistakes, then the self-doubt part of it goes away. Yeah, so that is beautiful. So as I mentioned earlier, we all bring in different shapes, sizes when it comes to leadership, right? So Nishtha is again my attempt to demystify that. How can we learn from somebody's life, somebody's experience? That is the core idea behind this. Thank you so very much, Kritika, for being an awesome guest, and especially all the support that you gave me all these days. For the thank you so much for that. Thank you for your patience. My humble gratitude to you.
Come on, Subha. Thank you so much for having me. My gratitude to you. But thank you. This was so fun collaborating on this. Okay.
Thank you so much, viewers, for all your support. Gratitude to each one of you. There are so many who are going to watch this, the recorded version as well. Thanks once again. We will be meeting new, young as well experienced stalwarts here from the industry. Keep watching. Thank you so much.